Hi everyone, this is Hannah and I'd like to welcome you to this week's Arrange Your Own video. Now today we have some great flowers and greens for you to use. First of all, we have 5 Free Spirit roses, which are wonderful and fragrant. You're going to love these. Smell them right when you get them. We have 3 Common Yarrow in the yellow form. 3 Teddy Bear Sunflowers. Now I have regular sunflowers, but you guys will be receiving teddy bears. They're a lot fuller in the center and a lot softer for your arrangement. 1 green anthurium. 5 stems of lilygrass. And then 4 aspidistra. We're going to start by lining our vase. Just take an aspidistra, cut off the edge, and then fold it around and place it inside your vase, just at the top. It's okay to see the stems at the bottom. There's a great garden influence. For instance, the roses, the yarrow, and the sunflower can all be grown in your garden. Maybe not the specific varieties. They're great for the end of the season. It's almost fall, but still happy summer. So we'll start with our 3 sunflowers. I just took off a couple of the leaves right at the top. I'm gonna cut my sunflower. Now these, I'm just gonna put around the vase because we're gonna try to do an all-around arrangement. That way it'll look great on a coffee table or your kitchen table, someplace like that. We're just gonna place the sunflowers kind of equal length around. Sometimes you may have to cut a little bit more off if they're not the height you feel. See, they're so big that we need to find something to fill them with. And that's where the yarrow is going to come in great. The cool thing about the sunflower and the yarrow is they're both in the same family. They're both in the Asteraceae family with asters. And so there's tons of little tiny flowers. And the sunflower, you'll notice in the center, all those flowers become the sunflower seeds we like to eat. Now yarrow is great because it's awesome in your landscape to add a lot of filler, and you can use it in arrangement. It was also used for medicinal uses back in the day. I don't suggest you using it, but they used it to clot blood, all kinds of things. I'm just placing one of these in between each of the sunflowers to break them up a little bit. Now we're going to go with our Free Spirit roses. Now they'll already be stripped for you, so all you have to do is kind of look what height you want to put them in at. I want to have one in between each of our sunflowers. And you can decide where you want them between the yarrow and the sunflower. And keep placing them in, especially on the top. You can always puff them up a little bit after you have them in. And now we're going to take our aspidistra leaves and we're going to try to frame the entire arrangement so when you look around it looks fun and it flows. So I'm going to fold it once and then I'll flip up the bottom flap and take a stapler and just staple it right where that fold is. And then I want to use this to lift up each of the sunflowers because their heads get kind of droopy. So it makes them pop back into their arrangement a little bit better. They'll also keep the height good. And we'll take the next one and do the same thing. Just a double fold. Add some depth to the arrangement as well. And it's always great to have some greens inside it. Now after you have everything in place, just go around, and the yarrow tends to fall a little bit. So puff it out and pull out your roses so they're each nicely functioning in your arrangement. And then we have 5 stems of lily grass, so we might as well do something fun with them. Let's just take them and put them in a little loop. Just one loop is fine. And then I'm going to take some of my binding wire and put them together. And then just cut off the ends. So I have my little loop, and I'm going to place it right behind one of the sunflowers, just to make the arrangement look like it has kind of a face if you want to put this against a wall or something. And there you have it. Nice, fun, bright, and colorful, and it can go in the center of any area or on the side of a table, end table, anything like that. We're left with something a little tropical, so it doesn't exactly go with the gardeny feel we have over here, so I'd like to highlight that. And I think this will be great in a fun little nook or your bathroom, just as something fresh. So I'll take my anthurium, and then I want to use some lily grass. And instead of the single loop as we did in our other arrangement, I'm going to double loop this. So you just take your lily grass, 2 strands, loop them once, hold, and then loop a tiny loop on the other side. It's just a little fun added touch. And then I'm going to bind this just right in between the little loop and the big loop. You can always cut off the excess wire. And then I'm going to take my anthurium. Anthuriums are wonderful. In fact, if a lot of you love calla lilies, which I do, they're in the same family. You can notice by the same spadix, which is actually the inflorescence, all the little flowers on this appendage. And then this is a small bract around it, which you would think will be the flower. It's very interesting. But our little friend the calla, we're going to place right next to the lily grass. And then in the same place where we attached the lily grass and the double loop, we're going to put another piece of wire around it. Now if you want to, you can use a single piece of wire for both of them, but sometimes if you have trouble getting the double loop, it's a great way to make it easier if you don't mind the double wire. Just twist it. You don't have to go too tight because your bud vase should have a small enough hole that it'll keep it together. Just cut off the excess. And then we'll cut the bottom of this. I think this is really nice because it has both sides. It's really balanced with the loop on the right side. It looks like it'll be too tall. And then you take this and place it right in your bud vase. And you have a fun, great arrangement for your bathroom or for an end table. And I hope you enjoy your arrangements. And we hope to see you back next week. Thank you so much.